Hey everybody, it's Rebecca Lopez-Chris from Revenue. Coming back at you this week from our social distancing edition of the Revenue Rundown. This is the last week we didn't go live. It's the first time that we've actually missed a Revenue Rundown, and I'm sorry that we didn't do that, but this week we've got a lot of good updates that we want to share with you. So we're gonna get started. I've got my notes to the side here, so I'm gonna probably be looking a little bit at my notes as we go. But I don't need to tell anybody that this is just an unprecedented time, and we continue to want to start by taking the time to thank you for watching this, and thank you for your patience as we adjust and how everyone sort of is adjusting to our new reality, hopefully a temporary reality from what's happening right now in the world. A couple of really big announcements. One, city offices remain closed to the public, and so our number one message to everyone is to please stay home. If you don't need to go out, don't go out, except for important tasks like groceries or helping a loved one. It's really important that you stay home. Our ability, because city offices are closed, our ability to respond to phone calls and emails is limited, but we're slowly trying to bring some of that back online. So if you're trying to reach us, please be patient. Know that our offices are closed right now, but we are kind of working behind the scenes to address your questions and try to get things moving. So, and we know that the safety policies are affecting residents and businesses in profound ways. And we also know that it affects your abilities to pay your taxes and to honor payment agreements and to get into payment agreements. And we're working on a lot of those answers right now. And we're aware of them, and we're working to address some of those challenges. And we really appreciate your patience as we all are kind of working through some of this. So we're going to do our best to keep continuing this, to get the word out and continue sharing information. Our website is still like one of the best places to get tax information. That's at phila.gov/revenue. We also have a special page specifically around policy decisions for the COVID-19 tax relief, and it's got its own URL, and I will put that in the comment section of this video once I'm off. It is www.phila.gov/COVID-19-tax-relief. That's phila.gov/COVID-19-tax-relief. I'm a terrible speller, so it was good that I was able to get that out. I'll tell you more about what's on that webpage in just a second, but we're also sharing anything new on our Facebook, anything on Twitter. We'll continue to try to do lives as we go. We are also starting to send emails directly to taxpayers for anyone who has signed up for our email list, which you can get to if you go to the contact page on our website. If you go to phila.gov/revenue, contact us. On the top of that page is a little like sign up form, and we do not spam that list. It's only for this type of situation where there are policies that we need to get out to taxpayers ASAP. So that is so if you want to get emails from us, sign up for that email list, and we'd be happy to get information out as soon as we know it. And we also plan to use that email list for things like rate changes and things that happen really quickly that we need to just tell people very quickly. That's where we plan to go with. We're not doing like we're not going to do updates that aren't related or not immediately important, and we would never share your contact information. So feel free to sign up for that email list. Let's see, I'm checking out my notes here. Okay, so there's a couple of policy changes that we want to make sure that people know about. We made the announcement it's all running together, I think last Monday, but we now have that guidance published online. And so we felt like we definitely wanted to do a video to promote some of these changes. So the big one is that 2020 real estate tax, which is normally due which was normally due on March 30th, is now due April 30th. So you have an additional 30 days if you haven't paid already. The other thing, so long as like the city offices are closed, we understand that we'll have to be accommodating moving forward. So that also means that we've extended the deadline to apply for an installment payment plan. That's specifically for any senior in the city qualifies for that program, and for low income homeowners. So the details, I'll share the details in the comments of this video as soon as I'm offline. So that's all senior citizens over the age of 65 and then eligible low income homeowners. That deadline is due April 30th. So whatever the deadline is going to be for real estate tax, that's what that deadline will be for the installment plan. And I will share a link to that application once I'm offline. And just a quick reminder about water bills. So we know that this is a crazy, unprecedented time, and it's also a health crisis. The due date of your water bill has not changed, but the Philadelphia Water Department and the water and the Department of Revenue will not shut off water for non-payment. In fact, we've also done a ton of restorations without fees for residences, or starting with residences, as in compliance with some directions from the health commissioner. I mean, so we totally understand that this is a health crisis, and that's water service is incredibly important. So we will not be shutting off water for non-payment through the COVID-19 emergency. So right now, suspension of waters is until at least May 15th. Because the situation is constantly changing, that may change in the future. I feel like if the news story is more than an hour old, then it's too old. I don't know what's happening. Another really big policy change that affects residents who own school income, the school income tax. This is for folks who have unearned income. So this is stuff like income on dividends, or perhaps rental income on a property that you like. It's like a duplex. And there's some very specific cases, royalties, cash lottery winnings. Those are the folks who might owe school income tax. The deadline to file and pay school income tax is April 15th. However, we know that a lot of folks are not going to have their taxes prepared by then, especially since the federal government changed its filing deadlines, and they're not able to reach their preparer, and a lot of other hurdles. So what we're asking is for folks to file an extension, which you would have gotten that form when you got your school income tax return information in the mail. File an extension and just make a payment that's equal to your return from last year. So that money goes directly to the school district, and we're hoping that if you can file and pay on time, we hope that you do. But if you cannot, we totally get it. What we're hopeful is that you'll be able to get that extension, pull out that extension from your packet, and then pay based on the amount that you paid last year, or equal to the return that you paid last year. And then you'll have until July 15th. Is that you'll still have till July 15th to file an actual return, and then make up any difference without interest and penalty. I see that there's a comment, although it's hard for me to read it while I'm here. I will do my best to address that comment once I'm offline, but I really appreciate that you're watching, and we'll do our best to address your comment as soon as I'm done talking. I'm done like filming a live video. So, and if for some reason you happen to pay over the amount, within the return from July 15th, there is actually a little mechanism to tell us how you want that overage to be applied. Either it's a credit for next year, or it's a refund. So that's built into the return already. Let's see. Let me check out my notes here. Okay, so here's some tax guidance geared towards businesses. The city of Philadelphia is honoring the IRS's extensions to file and pay by July 15th. This applies to all businesses in Philadelphia. again, we ask if you can file and pay on time that you do so, because it helps us maintain city operations and continuity of service for both the city and the school district of Philadelphia. So we understand, we know that a lot of folks can't, but we're hopeful that folks can. Folks who can will file and pay on time, but for those who can't, we were honoring the extensions that the IRS is offered to July 15th. Businesses do not have to do anything special for this at all. And this is for all businesses, even if you don't qualify for the federal extension. Like, let's say you're a partnership, or there's some small nitpicky details. But in Philadelphia, everyone who files BERT and NPT, net profits tax, and the business income and receipts tax, you get the benefit of that July 15th extension. Let's see. A lot of folks have asked us about use and occupancy. This is a big one. So businesses that were ordered to close beginning March 17th, so those are non-essential businesses, as a result of safety measures enacted by the mayor, are not subject to use and occupancy while the access to their place of business is prohibited. But if you are operating, if you are still considered an essential business, if you have had access to your space and you've had employees in your space, you're considered to have occupied the space, and UNO is due normally. But if you are someone who's been told you may not use your space, this is the rule now, you are not subject to use and occupancy during the duration of the city issued closure. The thing to remember, though, is that if you're a landlord and you have collected use and occupancy and you haven't paid it, you have to then you should be refunding that to your tenants. So landlords and tenants should kind of understand that like if the landlord isn't paying it because the tenants are prohibited from using their space, then the tenant should also get that refund, or should get that discount within their rent. However, that is worked out between the landlord and the tenant. Like there should be some understanding there. Okay, so businesses that are deemed essential, those that are continuing operations, those who have employees on site, and businesses that maintain employee access throughout the mayor's order, you should file and pay UNO like normal. So one of the other, let's see, one of the last things that I want to just mention is that we have a few operational updates. So we're still processing returns that are submitted to us electronically. We're still processing payments that are mailed to us or sent to us electronically. This is incredibly important for the city to operate. So revenue employees are essential right now. They're always essential, but some of their duties are especially essential right now. We're providing tax clearance, bankruptcy, and payoff information. So if you're trying to refinance your house, or that you're selling your property, or whatever that is, we still have folks who can answer those questions and can get you payoff amounts. And then also, we are working to, the other thing I want to make sure folks know is that in terms of enforcement, we are suspending a lot of enforcement actions are in suspension right now temporarily until we kind of get a handle on what's happening and what is kind of, we're just not sure. I think everybody's in the same boat. It's a lot of wait and see. We don't know the duration of some of the closures, certainly not for our office and certainly not for businesses. And so we are taking a wait and see approach. So we are not placing delinquent accounts with outside collection agencies. We've instructed those agencies to limit. They shouldn't be calling. They should be limiting their letters. The courts are all on hold. The courts are closed currently. And you will still get bills because that stuff comes out automatically from our system. So it's possible that you'll still get a bill from us. And if you have questions about that bill, we will just need to ask you to sit tight until until operations are back online at the Department of Revenue. So the last thing that I want to mention today is that there is another opportunity to get important tax updates from the Department of Revenue on Monday, April 6th. We are doing a webinar. The Commissioner Breslin, First Deputy Kathleen McColgan, and myself will be doing a webinar with the PICPA. That's free and it's open to the public, so you can register for that, and I will add that to the links in the sidebar once I'm offline. So that is, we'll be going through all of the tax updates and all of the guidance that we published on phila.gov/COVID-19-tax-relief, which you can also get to that page just by going to the front of our website, phila.gov/revenue. There's an announcement with that link, and there's also a big blog post with that link. So we were putting all of that tax guidance in one place. But we'll be going through that, and you'll be able to ask questions if you register for it ahead of time, which you'll need to do. But once you register, you'll also have an opportunity to ask questions. That starts at 10 a.m. with the PICPA. They have already done a ton of outreach on this, but we want to make sure that the folks at Facebook know that we're doing that. All you have to do is register. We've also published links to that on our social media account. And we also encourage folks to find us on LinkedIn because that's where we're putting a lot of the business tax guidance. We're making sure that people know about it on LinkedIn. So you can look for us at Phila Revenue on LinkedIn. We're doing stuff here on Facebook, obviously, but for business folks, we tend to try to concentrate a little bit more on LinkedIn. Okay, so that's what I have for today. And I really appreciate everything that you're doing to stay safe, to keep yourself safe, to keep your family safe. Also, check out the main city's website, phila.gov, for general COVID-19 announcements and more information from the health department, more information about where to get food. If you need food assistance, there are boxes of food being delivered to Philadelphians throughout the week. So there's some really, really important resources for folks who may be struggling out there. You can also text COVID PHL to 888-777. I'm pretty sure I'll double check and put that in the comments if I got it wrong, for daily COVID updates. So I know not everybody thinks about taxes all the time the way we do, but if you're looking for additional COVID information, check out the city's main website, phila.gov. And until next time, I hope you are all safe and be well. All right. Thanks.